Hi guys, how you doing? This is Terry LaQueen Battle here from upstate New York in Syracuse. I just had a great video chat on Facebook. So um, you guys can also follow me on Facebook too. I just had a great 2 hour video. My videos are long. I like it that way. There's nothing bad with that. I am very descriptive. I'm very intelligent. I like to expand on my words. I like to expand on my knowledge and my history. So um, that's who I am, and that's what I am, and that's what I do. So I try not to play any games with people, and just make it quick and short and simple. I'm not getting paid for this. I don't receive any kind of funding or any kind of feedback, commercial, paid advertisement, or anything. Pretty much, I'm doing this on my own volition and my own um, uh, word. So you guys can also follow me on Facebook as well. Go put my Facebook link on here too. Okay. So I am a public figure, but I'm very low public figure. I'm like I am a little local celebrity. I'm kind of like a D class, F class celebrity. I'm like an F class celebrity. So I am a little bit of a celebrity here around town because everybody knows me. But I am like an F class celebrity, pretty much. So anyway, um, pretty much the topic of my video today is that the word nigger is not a bad word. It's not a bad word. It's actually a spin off of what the history that black people came from, and it's actually a short derivative of what we came from, and to help us forget our past, and to help us forget our history as kings and queens and founders of the world. The Moors were great people. The Moors controlled England and the Middle East for thousands and thousands of years. The Moors people, the Moors. But people, they don't recognize that what the African Moors did for society. They don't recognize the inventions that the African Moors helped change the world, not just in Egypt, not just in the Middle East, but the Moors helped change the world with lighting and technology and water. It was because of the Moors that we have a lot of the technology that we have today. People, they don't recognize it like that. They go, the British monarchy controlled the world, and the British monarchy was what history comes from. King King Alexander, and all these famous medieval kings is what controlled the world. No, no, it wasn't the English people that controlled the world's history. Most of the world's history happened in the Middle East. That's where most of the history of the world comes from. And most of the people from the Middle East are what skin tone? You go to the Middle East, you go to Egypt, you go to Palestine, you go to Iraq. Even if you're in the military, you fight. And when you go to the military, you fight in Kuwait, you fight in Iraq, you fight in Afghanistan, you fight in Turkestan, you fight all around the world. And what color do you see the people that you're looking at? It's the color of the people that you see around the world. This is the color. Where did the history of the world come from? What color was the history of the world? What color were the original people who wrote down history and who started history? This color. But people help you forget your past in order for you not to continue on towards your future. They want you to settle down and be content and be lazy and enjoying the satisfaction of life. Okay, I got technology. I got the latest iPhone. I got the latest car. I got I got a big house. I got a good job. Yeah, well, life is more than just that. Life is more than just material possessions. It's also about remembering your family, remembering where your parents came from, your grandparents, your history of your family, figuring out who you are as a person and why you are who you are today. Oh, where's the right there? Yes, 5 minutes into this broadcast. And also, a lot of things are going on in the news where they talk about global climate. There's a problem with global climate issue in South America and Brazil. They're still talking about the climate crisis in Brazil. And also, there's another thing in the news that's going on. This is Monday edition of the USA Today. Right here. So, in less than 9 months, we're going to vote the next leader of our country into office. And these are all the Democratic candidates. And how many conservative candidates are there against the current president? There's nobody contending against him. There is not one person contending against Trump on his party ticket. That's a shame. Because his sister, Trump's sister, Mary Ann Trump, is a federal Democratic liberal federal district judge who had to leave her position in order for this man to be elected into office. Mary Ann Trump, that's his sister. She's a Democratic federal district judge. And the Trump, he's not just Trump by real estate. Trump, his whole entire family. Trump is just not, he didn't just get his inheritance or get $1 million check from his father. No. Trump is a trust fund baby. Donald Trump is a trust fund baby. His whole entire family is rich. He doesn't even have to work a day in his life. It's ridiculous. He didn't even have to work a day in his life. He's been a trust fund baby all his life. I'm sorry, I apologize. We may offend some people. All he had to do was go into his family's trust fund and he's good to go. Because it's the Trump-Hines dynasty. Just by his father's inheritance and just by his grandmother's inheritance and his cousin's inheritance, he didn't have to work a day in his life. Just by his family connections, he didn't have to work a day in his life. Just by his family connections. And where his most of family connections, what side of the political climate are they on? The left side. Most of his family's on the left side. Most of his family's Democratic. Most of Trump's family's on the blue side. But also at the same time, his family originated from Germany and Austria. The Trump name comes from Germany and Austria and Bavaria. That's where the real Trump name comes. It comes from Bavaria. Where you see people with long blonde hair and blue eyes. Long blonde hair, pure blood, pure blood. German. He was pure blood German. And Irish. He didn't have to work a day in his life. But he chose to, and that's how he got his business started, based on his father. Just because of his family's connections, he didn't have to work. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's the Trump-Hines dynasty, and there's more to it around the world. His family invented a part of an instrument that is used in X-ray technology today all around the world. His family invented one part of the machine that is used in X-rays all around the world. So without X-rays, without Trump, there would be no X-rays. Can you imagine X-rays? X-rays. And then you have the Heinz family, which Heinz just united with Kraft Foods. So that makes his family even more much richer. So just one instrument used in X-rays, the Trump family owns that. So you have invention, you have the medical technology, and then you have food processing and food technology, and then you have all his political connections. And he doesn't even have to work a day in his life, but he chose to take his family business and make it into real estate. And that's how he got his name about town in New York. Yeah, he could have done that. He could have done something else with his life, just based on his family connections, his family dynasty. Just because of his family connections, he didn't have to work a day in his life. But he chose to do his own thing, and that's he made a little bit here, a little bit there, and he became a billionaire. I apologize, it may offend some people right now, but it's the truth. He didn't have to work a day in his life. But people, they don't know, they just look at him as a rich businessman and a conservative that supports the Bible going, church going people. And if you actually don't just read his books that somebody else wrote for him, actually look up on his record. And please look up on Trump's record and his family's record, and look up on the record of these other people too that are running against him. Please look up these people's records, and don't judge a book by its cover. Everybody knows Andrew Yang and what he's doing, and Elizabeth Warren, everything that he's going to do. It's just fighting for her own identity. Fighting. She's not fighting for presidency. She's fighting for her identity. People they don't even know who she is. Oh yeah, I'm a congresswoman. Yes, yes, she's a congresswoman. She's a woman of leadership. She's more than just a woman that's trying to claim that she's Native American. She's in this position for a reason. Know her and know her voting record. And then Bernie Sanders, God, know him and his voting record. And then, like I had on my Facebook broadcast, know Pete Buttigieg and his record. Yeah, he graduated from Harvard University. That's great. Yeah, he was the youngest mayor of South Bend, Indiana. That's great. But has he ever worked with Barack Obama and his campaign? Yeah, he was in Chicago. That's good. But when he was in Chicago, guess who he decided to work for? John Kerry. Pete Gutenberg worked for the John Kerry campaign instead of Barack Obama's campaign. Know these people and know their voting record. And even Joe Biden has some problems with political PAC groups against him, and get him and figure out where the money is coming from, and his own son and his own son's voting record. So know these people, know all of these people and their voting records. Don't be fooled by someone saying they're a Bible going Christian person, and that they support the black community, that they support the gay community. No more. Just because a person's gay doesn't mean they support their own community. Just because a person's Native American doesn't mean they support Native Americans. Just because a person's Asian doesn't mean they support Asians. You have to know these people and know their record and what they're fighting for. Because you'd be easily fooled. And that's why people are still surprised that Trump is in office. Because you were easily fooled. You didn't do your research. Know these people and know their records. Because money talks. Yeah, money talks. But what's on paper talks more than money. I can give you $1 million, but if I wrote something down and if I voted for something, that $1 million doesn't even matter. You can give me $1 million and I change my vote in one moment. Yeah, I can give you $1 million. I'll give you $1 million to support my act to change hate against the queer community. Thank you for your $1 million. But the person votes for something completely different. Please don't be fooled. Do your research. Please do your research. Even if they're Democratic or not, do your research. Please. People thought that Trump was a Democrat, that he was a Bible going man. Just research his family's name and know that it's completely different. This is Trump America right now. You got hate groups, KKK, and you got the baby boomer generation dying off right now. So hate groups are rising, and the baby boomer generation are dying off, and they're taking all of them and all of their wisdom with them. The high quality, the jobs, a lot of these good jobs are dying away with the baby boomer generation. A lot of good, long-standing, permanent jobs are dying off with these people as well. People used to work for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. They used to have one job for 30 years, 40 years with good benefits. And now people can't even work a job for less than 5 years. Less than 5 years, people move on to another job. And even jobs such as doulas. A lot of the doulas are dying off. People don't even know what a doula is anymore. People don't even know what a midwife is anymore. Well, when you're in labor, when you're in pain, when you're in the hospital, you need somebody to help you make that baby, deliver that baby. That job by itself is dying off. So a lot of these qualities are dying away with these people. These people are getting older. They get into their 70s and their 80s, and now they're being moved into studio apartments. The family's not taking care of them anymore, and they're dying away in nursing homes and studio apartments. This generation's dying away, so we need to take care of this generation. And even Social Security. Trump is not talking about Social Security at all. And Social Security is another issue. He's not talking about that at all. He's not talking about this issue at all. Social Security right here. What happens to the future of our country when we can't even support our own people in about 10, 20, 30 years? Social Security, not Social Security disability, Social Security. Is dying off. And you know what? The black community doesn't care about it, because a lot of people now use Social Security as a welfare check, and it's ridiculous. They use Social Security as another welfare check. It's real sad. It's real sad to use Social Security as another welfare check. They even claim Social Security on their babies and their kids too. It's real sad. And people wonder why they call us niggers, less than lower class people, and help us forget where we came from, forget our past, that we were intelligent people, that we didn't have to rely on handouts, that we controlled governments, we control countries, we control kings and queens. We control governments, we control society. We didn't have to have society rely on us. We were the leaders of society, and people want us to forget that. Black people weren't minorities, we were the majority. We have always been and are the majority. Africa is, if not the biggest continent on the country outside of Asia. When people go to Africa, they don't call Africans minorities. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Nigeria. Oh, I'm from Chad. Oh, I'm from Cameroon. Oh, I'm from the Caicos Islands. Oh, I'm from all around the world. And the word nigger came from an Ethiopian king who was the last kings and queens of Africa. One of the last, if not the last. And it was a derivative. It was a spin-off. Somebody took, hey, how you doing? I'm almost done. Someone took a spin-off of that, of his name, took a derivative of his name and used it in a negative intonation and pretty much controlled a whole population of people. Hmm. Yeah. And meant to be royalty was to lift us up. The Moors controlled the world for 1,000 years. The Moors, thousands and thousands of years, but people they don't realize that the Moors even existed. They think, okay, the English royalty monarchy controlled the history of society. Or the Moors were around the same time as the Jews. It was a Moorish man that delivered a gift to Jesus Christ when he was born as an infant, child in Bethlehem. It was a Moorish man, a Moorish black man that gave him the gift. Well, there's three wise men, and one of those three wise men was a Moorish man, was a Moor. Frankincense, silver, and more. Frankincense, myrrh, and I think there's one more. And one of those men was a Moor. Moor. Well, he was a wise man. And when you call somebody even reflected to King Nagus, it meant that he was a personification of God, of the King of Kings. He was called King Nagus was called the King of Kings. He was called Sovereign King of Ethiopia, His Imperial Majesty. He even said himself, I'm only a reflection of a force so much greater than myself. I'm only a mirror of somebody so much greater than myself. And every single day I walk down the street and I see my life and pretty much where I come from, and I just forget who I am. But it's New York City. You see so many people that are so alike, it's ridiculous. Oh, yes, New York City. I see the same person that was in my hometown in Southside Chicago, South Dallas. I see that same person with the same name. Yeah, because it's New York. There's nothing special about that. It's New York. You see famous, similar people, similar faces, same faces all the time. It's New York. There's nothing different about it. It's New York. People find their opposite twin all the time. It's New York. But his name was King Nagas Izana II. He was one of the last kings of kings. That's what he was called. He was called the King of Kings. And he lived in 1594. And his name derived from Ethiopia and the Amharic tribe of people, the Aksumite. but I can't forget for who I am or where I came from. And so I probably call that word every single day. Colored, shorty, pokey, dookie, slave, whore, prostitute, pro, every single day of my life. But I don't remember where I come from or who I am. I know that I'm only a child of a king of a king. I'm the child of the King of Kings, and that my name was taken from me and was retarded for me and my people. You can't retard my history. You may retard my name, but you can't retard my history. Okay, this is LaQueen, Terry LaQueen Battle from upstate New York. The library is about to close and let me use their resources. I'm so happy for that today. Please continue to keep your thoughts and your prayers. Shout out to my military friends and family here and abroad, as well as please keep my friend Charleston Burke, a United States Marine, in your prayers. He's currently going through a lot. I don't know if he's playing out, but he's currently going through some problems right now. I love you guys. Shout out to my little brother, Lakeem Jemiah Harris, is currently serving the United States Marine Corps and outside station right now in Los Angeles, California. My aunt, my uncle, all my cousins, all my family, friends, and everybody in my high school sweetheart, Craig Eddie White, who just retired from the United States Air Force. My other high school friend, Mary Johnson, who is a first second lieutenant in the United States Army, as well as to all my friends and family. I love you guys. Please continue to keep me your thoughts and your prayers. Much peace and love. Aloha. Shout out to Obama, Change, and Forward. All right. I love you guys. Peace and love.